Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Play the Hits, where we're kicking off a brand new project after much finickiness on my PC's part. How you doing tonight, Nick?
I'm doing well, so you're going to have to walk me through this. I've heard of Devil May Cry, but I have no clue where we fit in the timeline here.
I don't think Capcom has any clue where this really fits.
Well, this is part 5, so I assume there were 3 parts before it, or 4.
Four and unsuccessful reboot. So
okay, so this isn't the reboot, right? This is part 5 of what, the original?
Correct. So they tried to reboot it in maybe like 2010-ish.
And that was the one with Hot Topic Dante, right?
Yeah, Hot Topic Dante. That's exactly right. And it really didn't take off in any meaningful way. Like people just didn't like the revamped Dante. The action, from what I understand, was serviceable. That all worked well. But just the game itself didn't feel like Devil May Cry to people who actually enjoy Devil May Cry. And in a niche series like Devil May Cry, I mean, you really got to work on pleasing the fans in those instances. So, lo and behold, here we have Devil May Cry 5, which is a true successor to the series. Story-wise, I have no qualms about starting you off at entry number 5, because truthfully speaking, the story itself, the series, has never really been very coherent. Even like the timeline itself, like I think the canon order of the games is 3, 1, 4, 2, 5. So
okay, well, I'm lost.
Yeah, exactly. So make of that what you will. But that being said, where Devil May Cry excels is very fast and fun and fluid action. Dante's got a lot of charm, which is why people were so upset when they changed him. And his sidekick Nero is not Raiden, so
Huh. Okay.
So you won't be offended by this guy. This guy's new. I have no idea what his deal is. V.
Yeah, it's Chris Angel.
Yeah, it's just Chris. We're about to get mind freaked.
But yeah, seriously, I'm feeling bad that his kid got cancer.
Oh.
Yeah, that happened recently. That's that every time Chris Angel pops up in the news, I'm waiting to like hear that he, like, you know, I don't know, like one of his tricks went wrong, and
You're an interesting guy,
yeah.
but you're right.
Let me go ahead and restart this episode.
Oh God, why don't he go that road? I always do this. I never think about what I'm gonna say. Anyways.
Oh man, Chris Angel. I mean, God have mercy on his poor child, but talk about obscure references. Oh boy.
So is this like what, like I feel like we just jumped into the middle of something here. Is this still the intro?
Yeah, it's pulling the old FF15 bit.
Okay, so it's like a James Bond movie where the first 5 minutes is the tail end of another story. Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah. And we're going to get the tutorials, all that good stuff. And fortunately, I still remember... So, Nero, the guy that I'm playing as right now, or not Dante as he's better known among the fans, he was introduced in Devil May Cry 4. And I remember fairly well how to play as him. He and Dante actually have quite different control schemes, which is actually sort of a cool thing.
Do you, like, control the different characters in one playthrough, or is it
Yes.
like playthrough 2 is Nero, and then the second one is Chris Angel, or...
Yeah, I'm guessing we're
God.
going to get Chris Angel before we get Dante.
I know he has a proper name, but I've already forgotten it.
Right. V. Shouldn't be too hard to remember.
One syllable, I can handle
Alright,
that.
lock on is L2, which I am... Well, I should know this. I customized the controls. Boom. I just got a C for craptastic.
You say it doesn't play like Dante's Inferno, but it sure looks like it plays like Dante's Inferno.
Oh, so I had forgotten the reference.
And we're
that you
playing
were
as
making there.
Dante, and looks like we're in hell, so I'm not seeing why I'm so far off.
So Dante's Inferno was an action game that heavily borrowed from Devil May Cry, correct? Or was it even made by the same team?
It might have been.
But that was about, what, 10 years ago now?
Oh Lord, yeah, that was a long time ago.
I had forgotten what you were even referencing, and I just assumed that you were talking about the Dante's Inferno, like the actual classic piece of literature. And I was thinking to myself, well, sure, I mean, clearly they borrowed quite heavily from that.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay.
Blast
I
off!
gotcha. Boy, I'm getting real Dissidia flashbacks here.
You know, there's a fun topic of conversation, because boy did I love me some Dissidia back when it was on the PSP and didn't suck. Have you played the newer Dissidia?
I only ever played the first one. I just kind of never felt like there was enough variation on the sequels for me to merit spending another $40 on it.
Well, so here's going on a very brief Dissidia rant, because there's really not much to the series. The Dissidia that was released originally on the PSP was, I thought, a very good, kind of fun RPG brawler hybrid, right? You got to play as all your favorite Final Fantasy heroes. And it was it had an enjoyable system that worked well for what they were aiming to do. And then they did Duodecim, which was almost like a redo of a game that didn't really need a redo, but it was still technically superior enough that it was worth checking out. And so I got on like a PSP store sale, and I ended up playing through all of that too, and they did a good job with it. But then they released what should have been the true sequel on the PS4, but it was just so bad. It doesn't.
Yeah,
really
that's all I
play.
know about that, is that it was bad.
Yeah, like not like, oh, this isn't like the original game and I'm all butthurt and everything. No, it's objectively a bad game. It doesn't play well. They took out all of the really fun like RPG elements that made the original such a unique and kind of enticing thing to play. So yeah, like it was a tremendous waste of time, and unfortunately I didn't do my homework and I got burned bad. I bought it on release day because basically just off of the goodwill of the original.
Yeah, I remember, because I had regarding the PS4 release, I had read that basically it was universally panned, and then Square Enix was like, doesn't anybody want these 5 free DLC characters that are coming out?
Yeah, right.
You thought you'd be more hyped for these.
Oh, Renoa and Vayne, sign me up.
I think Tifa was just released a month ago, so God bless them, they're still trying.
Now with 80% more cleavage.
Actually, I believe it's 80% less. They're going more of a conservative route with Tifa.
Oh, that's right, for the remake, yeah. Hey, jackass.
Ever teach you it's not nice to steal?
Oh, and by the way, all these characters, in case you're wondering, have attitude.
Oh, they do?
They're hip with it.
So now who has the most tude, like Sonic?
Okay, so if Dante is Sonic, then we're playing as Knuckles right now, and oh god, what did I just do, Nick? You fucking rang?
I love that you ran with that.
What? What do you guys want?
I didn't blow that whistle. Calm down.
This ain't Knuckles. This is discount Knuckles. So I'm guessing this is one of those things where they throw you into the final boss without adequately preparing you, just to see how much skill you need to get.
Yeah, maybe it's that classic Dark Souls thing of, first boss is supposed to kill you, but maybe you kill him. Probably not.
Or maybe I'm supposed to win and I suck.
I
don't seem to be doing much to him.
Oh, the health bar that's going down is yours. Okay.
Yeah, mine's in the top left.
I was gonna say you had him on the ropes, but...
I am hitting him a surprising amount. Just not doing anything to him.
Not doing anything, yeah.
Yeah, for the
guess you're
record,
not supposed to win
this ain't Knuckles. You wanted Knuckles. I mean, have you ever seen Knuckles throw a fight like that? When Knuckles enters the ring, only Knuckles comes out. Sorry, go ahead.
Seeing as how they just threw us into a cutscene.
Save me, Chris Angel.
Animals now?
Chris Angel, quick, disappear us! Oh god, all he's doing is locking himself into a water tank.
Classic Chris Angel.
Oh God!
Well, it was better than like David Lane or David Blaine, who was trying to freeze himself inside the world's biggest ice cube for the longest amount of time, or whatever that crap.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, by the way,
what?
Dante can turn into a demon.
Okay, well he's not a werehog, so I mean that's not bad.
Oh God. Chris Angel, if you can actually disappear us, now is the time.
Well, remember, those are only illusions. You need like a real witcher sorcerer to do that.
My favorite Chris Angel moment was when he got the people on the street to like play along and like say he could actually levitate, but all he did was like move the camera slightly to the ground so all you could see was his feet. I'm guessing. Oh wait, no, that was David Blaine. Have you seen the like YouTube videos of the two gay gentlemen who keep getting punked by David Blaine?
No.
I think it's David Blaine and not Chris Angel, but they're actually really hilarious. It's just these two guys, and David Blaine just shows up and like disrupts their lives.
Huh. So this is like some sort of ongoing series.
I think yes and no. I think they've got like 3 videos, and they had the grace to let it die. But yeah, they were quite humorous and pretty deadpan in terms of how ridiculous his magic act is.
The only thing I know from the world of magic recently is that David Copperfield had to go to court and reveal how he did his disappearing audience trick.
I see. This game starts with Dante losing. That's unique. Dante doesn't lose. Yeah, maybe if he had the real Knuckles in there, this wouldn't have gone down like that. Knuckles, I'm sorry, okay? He's not like you. You're damn right he's not like me.
God, this is what it's like with Knuckles all the time, is just watching every movie. I could have stopped Hans Gruber.
Yeah, right. You called Knuckles, they wouldn't have even taken Nakatomi Plaza. Mr. President would still be alive. They'd blown that whistle.
Yeah, I could have stopped Wesker, not a problem.
No, oh, God! Whatever Dante's doing, it's not working.
No, it's having the opposite effect.
It's just pissing it. All he did was go in there and piss it off.
I mean, it was only asking for like a small cash prize of $10 million. We should have just paid it out.
All it wanted was our worship and money. I mean, guys, really. It's not too late.
That.
Yeah, right? I mean, we've lived with far worse gods than this. I mean... Oh, no.
I wonder who gets like tasked with cleaning this stuff up.
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm guessing it's whoever's in the off season for the Avengers crew.
There you go.
Hey, while we're on topic here, if you guys ever saw whatchamacallit, the Avengers, New York wouldn't have got blowed up if they'd called Knuckles. Thanos? No, more like has-been-nos. I don't know what that meant.
Well, you tried.
I don't write the punchlines, okay? I just punch.
Punchlines, that's good.
Yeah,
like
see, I'm
that.
clever. Fuck you. 5 years later.
I was gonna say, are we in the past or the future? Because someone seems to not.
1
care.
month later.
Okay.
Dante? Who's Dante? We don't know no Dante.
Boy, sir, I'm glad we just gave up and went to another country.
I also like how Nero went into that fight with only one arm, thinking everything would work out just fine.
Oh, that sounds pretty ableist to me.
Right. Well, I mean, if you're fighting a demon king. All I'm saying is there's some things you're better equipped to do with 2 arms.
Well, he did lose, so I mean, point validated.
Right?
But I mean, then again, Dante had 2 arms too, so... I mean...
Well, so another point of disclosure for you, in Devil May Cry 4, when Nero was introduced, his unique thing is he was born with a demon arm, which turned out to be some ancient god of destruction. So I'm pretty sure he got rid of that demon arm.
Okay, so basically he's Ash from the Army of the Dead series.
Yeah, pretty much. But I think the gimmick in this game is now you can give him a mechanical arm, which you can customize to a certain extent.
Well, I mean, so long as it can just be a chainsaw at some point, I'm fine.
I'm counting on it. Don't lose your tits. I guess we know what the title of this episode's gonna be.
Well, that is one sturdy Winnebago.
Yeah, Winnebago.
Winnebago.
You mean Winnebago? Thank you,
You know, it's
Quagmire.
one of those words that got stuck in my head, and I say it without even realizing. Thanks a lot, Family Guy.
Yeah, right. Isn't there supposed to be an O in country? No. She turns on the windshield. See, now they're playing it like Knuckles would play it, okay? Hey, I'm pretty sure that's the Magnum that Leon uses in Resident Evil 2.
I'm just wondering if, like, we mowed down some civilians, but we just thought they were demons.
These were all people, and the fantasy's just in his head.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm imagining here.
He's not actually doing any of this. When he jumped out of the car, he hit his head real hard. Oh, this is you know, in all seriousness,
this is still opening credits.
It is. Yeah, this takes a minute. In all seriousness, though, you made the comment at the end of the Resident Evil 7 playthrough that this is kind of the engine that can really do it all. And this is just another example of that as far as I'm concerned. This looks great, especially for a fast-paced action game. You know, it's... they don't have to include as much detail as they did, but this engine is a real moneymaker for Capcom.
It's just a delight to see an engine that's not the Unreal Engine being used for once.
Yeah, and something pretty much just as flexible, because, I mean, Resident Evil 7 was a first-person shooter, and a damn good-looking one at that. Resident Evil 2 was an over-the-shoulder style gunner, and a damn good-looking one. And now Devil May Cry 5, which is just pure, you know, run-and-gun action, is also looking very beautiful.
You know, I was scrolling through my news feed, and I had seen something along the lines that Resident Evil 3 is guaranteed to have more action than Resident Evil 2.
Yeah, I have some comments on that, but I'll hear you first.
No, I just thought Resident Evil 2 was perfect, so I don't know why we're screwing with it. I didn't exactly see anybody complaining.
No, I agree. And not only that, though, but what they were trying to say is that Resident Evil 3, in its original form on the PS1, served as kind of a bridge between the old style and new style of Resident Evils, which, as you know, for me, is a notorious sore spot because I absolutely hated the new style of Resident Evils. And I thought Resident Evil 2, like you said, was pretty much perfect in that it married the over-the-shoulder action with the slower, more deliberate pacing and the actual horror of the originals. So, I don't quite know what they're going at.
Well, if they want more action, just make Resident Evil 8.
Yeah, I don't know. And so, here's my thought. What I think they mean is that from the start of the game, you're going to be plagued by Nemesis, which is how it was in the original.
Oh, that guy's wearing a helmet. He's dead.
Yep.
Oh,
they're not even bothering to show his name tag. The tire hits him.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's...
You actually kill him. And so, my thought is, because Nemesis is going to harass you from the start instead of about an hour in like Mr. X, it's probably going to feel a little faster paced, which is true and which is fine. However, if they mean that they're incorporating some of like the, you know, big Resident Evil 5 and 6 kind of explosion, gunplay sort of thing, that I'm not cool with. Now, how does that technology work?
Well, I mean, come on.
Oh. Well, he is just Ash from the Evil Dead, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not a chainsaw, but it's functional.
Give it a few hours. You know, that scene couldn't have worked any better if he'd looked right into the camera and said, "It's showtime." Oh, wait, hold on. I actually want to read this, because it's probably a little bit different. Devil Breaker. Press B to perform your special Devil Breaker attack. Taking damage while executing this will destroy your current Devil Breaker. Okay. Break Age. Hold B, then release. Charging an attack will make that attack more powerful, but the Devil Breaker you have equipped will be destroyed. So his arm is basically like a disposable item in this.
Oh, alright. There's another need to try it out on.
Interesting.
and then right into another cutscene.
Yep.
The game was afraid you just weren't doing it correctly.
Yeah, it's like, wouldn't it be cool if the action you did actually was this instead? No,
this looks like a fun game. Maybe we can play it at some point.
Right?
Nira's having a lot more fun than I am.
So, Devil May Cry 4 kind of fell victim to the same thing, where the first hour or so was a lot of needless exposition, but then when it takes off, the action actually is quite fluid and fun. I had not heard whether it was the same in this game, but it seems to be. So we can probably look forward to pulling off some pretty cool stunts here within the next hour or so. Wire Snatch. Okay, so this is going to be like Devil May Cry 4.
This is just going to be memorizing. Ugh, I can't. This is my least favorite part of any game.
Mm-hmm. Breakaway. You can forcefully sever your Devil Breaker, generate an explosion. Oh, that's interesting. That you couldn't do in the first one. Ah, interesting. Okay, so now I have 2 more arms. Oh, God! I'm on fire! And not the good kind. Come on, baby!
Really getting the hang of this new toy.
There we go. You die now. Okay, and so you can find random arms around the environment. That's
okay.
All right, cool. Good thing someone just left this highly advanced piece of cybernetic technology lying around. That's cool. I'm cool with that.
Very. Are we in London?
We are in Devil May Cry Land.
Okay. All right.
Okay, help me close the distance there. There we go. That's what I want the arm for. That's what made the arm nice, is that with Nero, Dante's biggest weakness is his reach, right? So with Nero's arm, you could close the gaps really quick. And it seems like they're bringing that back here, which is all good. Dante, however, has the double jump, which I have to remember that Nero does not have.
You know, I would really like to know what game it was that started the whole double jump thing that convinced us this was just a natural part of gameplay.
Yeah, right. This is just a kind of movement that everyone has. Yeah.
Because, I mean, it makes no sense from so many perspectives, but...
I'm trying to think.
And yet we expect it.
Right. I'm trying to think of the very first game I ever played that had a double jump. And I want to say maybe Symphony of the Night, but it feels like it's an earlier invention than that.
Oh, I'm sure. But I feel like it would almost probably be some sort of obscure Japanese game that never got a stateside release.
Oh, why do I keep doing that?
Oh, that was a mess.
Yeah, I'm gonna be just fine.
Oh yes, this looks a great deal like Dante's Inferno or Lords of Shadow.
Yeah, you know, the joke there being that Lords of Shadow really kind of I'm gonna try something here. There we go. That was cool. Really took what made Devil May Cry great and just cranked it up a notch, similarly with God of War. And right now, yeah, I'm definitely feeling that, particularly when you're playing as Nero, because he has the arm which functions in a lot of ways like the whip functioned in Lords of Shadow.
Yeah, I just wish the sequel to that game didn't suck so bad.
Yeah, that's another one that I saw on the Steam sale, and I was like, well, am I
$2?
finally ready to pick this up? I don't know, $5 is awful expensive for that piece of shit.
Oh, Lord. I really thought it was $250.
Oh, was it?
I mean, it's cheap. It's very
I might
cheap.
give it a play for $250.
I don't know, because then you got your time investments. That's the big thing these days. Not the money, it's the time.
Yeah. And, well, you know, I kind of wish I'd known that before picking up Sekiro. Simply because I probably could have waited for that to go down a few bucks. But at the same time, for me anymore, like, I play so many RPGs that $30 or that 30 hours actually may be considered a shorter project for me.
Okay, I can see that.
Always check the environment. That's another thing about Devil May Cry. The environments are fairly linear, but they've got like nice little hidden branches and everything.
Yeah, just like Mario stage. As soon as you start, head to the left to see if there's anything there.
That's right. I wasn't sure if the water was gonna hurt me either. So Nick, here's a discussion I don't think we've had on this channel. We've talked a lot about RPGs. What's your favorite just action game? Like,
Action.
in terms of, it doesn't have to be mindless either. Just like, what game has done action in a way that you have found either exceptionally fun or pleasing to the eye, or just kind of like a joy to do?
Let's be really boring about this. Witcher 3.
Okay, so you're not counting Witcher 3 as an RPG, but more of an action title.
Wait, what? Well, like, okay, give me an example of what you're saying.
Okay,
I mean,
so for
Witcher's
instance, Devil May
absolutely
Cry,
an
Bayonetta, God of War, and I won't say the one that I'm thinking of because it actually is.
Okay.
It actually is the one that I'm gonna tell you a little bit about here shortly.
I don't really play a lot of games from that genre. I mean, that's kind of almost more borderline hack and slash, right?
They can be, yeah. If there's a exceptional hack and slash that you really like.
If that were the case, I would say it would be probably Lords of Shadow. I know that game is not particularly well loved, and I mean, I think I enjoyed it
do
so
love
much
that one.
Well, I mean, a lot of people say it's a God of War clone and it's a Shadow of the Colossus clone, but I had not played either of those games prior to playing that, so to me it was all fresh. So,
and that's a
I
nice
thought it was
thing.
pretty solid. I was really surprised that I was able to memorize all the combos in that pretty fluidly, and yeah, I mean, it was a really well put together game, and yeah, I thought it was good.
You know, the nice thing about Lords of Shadow is if you're going into that genre, starting with Lords of Shadow, you're coming into it with probably one of like the most polished examples of it in really the entirety of that genre.
Well, for that time.
Yeah. I don't know, I think it holds up well.
What do you mean?
So, what were you thinking?
Okay, so my favorite action game ever, just in terms of like pure joy to play, is Prince of Persia: The Warrior Within, the second one in the PS2 trilogy. And I don't know if you ever played those or gave them a shot, but
I've seen them, but they kind of bleed together in my mind.
They do.
I mean, I remember the first one pretty vividly, but that was a long time
the first
ago.
one is the most unique, but also I think the most boring to play, just because like they had a lot of good ideas, but they weren't fully developed yet.
That was kind of the charm of it. Like, I always like a game like that that's like rough around the edges.
Oh yeah, and you know, to its credit, it is a lot more charming than Warrior Within. Warrior Within is actually kind of the black sheep out of the three, because whereas in the first one, the prince was just kind of like your everyman hero who stumbles into like, you know, like these magical powers and stuff like that. But in Warrior Within, he's like very jaded and angry, and they're like, "Oh man, they killed his character." And you know, I honestly don't care because I wasn't playing the game for the story anyways. What I liked about it was the free flow combat system that beautifully married the parkour that series is famous for with some of the best swordplay I think I've ever seen in any game. And I'm sure we should be paying attention to this, but oh, look, here's what happens to his arm.
So this was...
So this is prior to the... So it looks like they came for his arm. Oh, and Kyrie is his girlfriend. Or was.
So the decision was made for him regarding his arm, okay.
Yep. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Well, that wasn't difficult at all.
Nope. Owie. Oh! Nero's just having a bad day.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, you don't bleed until you realize you're missing your arm.
Hey, so that katana there is another reference to earlier in the series. The only character that ever used a katana was Dante's brother Virgil, who was supposed to be dead.
No, see, I just thought it was a Nazgul, from Lord of the Rings.
That could be too. Man, how much blood does Nero have?
Well, he's not bleeding anymore. I mean, he finished screaming, I guess, so...
Yeah, there he goes. Now he's bleeding out.
He's waiting for us up ahead.
Like, man, that was a shitty day.
To get us killed on the way there.
Thank God for that flashback that explained what happened to my arm.
So wait a minute, is that Kyrie? I missed that. Like, I haven't been paying close enough attention. And if that's Kyrie, man, she really looks a lot different from the first game. Dude, I kicked ass. Look at that. I got an S.
First, it was mission 1, my friend.
Yeah, but I mean, come on. Give me some credit. So, yeah, Kyrie was a priestess in the first game. I'm guessing she broke a few vows, if you catch my drift.
What year is this?
I don't know. There's one thing that kind of drives me nuts with a narrative device is a game that gives you a lot of dates and times, but then, like, the actual story doesn't really depend on, like, 7 days until the end of the world or something like that. No, it's just like, oh, it's June 15th, in case you were curious.
Huh.
It's been a good 30 years since I last wrote something like a letter. Don't have a typewriter or nothing, so unfortunately, you're stuck with my shitty handwriting for now. Aren't I a character? I heard you're heading back to the Red Grave. Wasn't sure exactly what I could do for you. I'm not a powerhouse like you, or the sharpest knife in the drawer. Aren't I a character? Still, given my business, the least I can do is get you a few leads. Can't say exactly how useful they'll be, but hey, gotta be better than nothing, right? So
well, half this letter is just self-deprecation.
Yeah, right? So the first time I met Dante, he actually went by a totally different name. Tony Redgrave. Oh yeah, I remember that from the old books. I can't read anymore. Tony Redgrave City, just a coincidence, something more I honestly can't say. Still, I figured if you're heading in that direction, you might be able to learn the truth about yourself. Or truth yourself. That's why I've decided to tell you everything about Dante I know. It ain't every day that I just give this stuff away, my boy. You'd best be grateful. The letter then proceeds to end right there. So this is my collectible for this game. This backstory on Dante.
I'm waiting on you. I'm cooking. Any special orders?
Of course, there's a cooking mechanic in this game. Why wouldn't there be?
Yeah. It just makes his arm bigger.
Hey, I got a new arm for ya.
Oh boy.
That's not food.
Okay, so here's the arm customization thing.
I really worked up a
Rocket punch!
I'd be disappointed if that's not what happens. The weirdest thing about the rocket punch is it wasn't David Hayter that said it.
No, I know. It's always going to be Jack Bauer now.
But still, I was amused at the thought of, what was it? What was his name?
Oh, wow, you can use equipment. Kiefer Sutherland?
Kiefer Sutherland having to say that,
Right. Right, and like I said, I just call him Jack Bauer, but... Because that's who he'll always be to me.
I just picture, this grizzled industry veteran like Kiefer Sutherland, having to say all that nonsense.
Right. Yeah, what the hell? I got 100,000 red orbs just for purchasing this game, so why the hell not?
Well, what if you need them later?
Well, then at least we got them. So 2 and 3 are Gerbera.
Oh my god, this is just one character. This is too much to keep track of for me.
Says the guy who is knee-deep in Dark Souls regularly.
Well, that's true.
Okay, so I've got these orbs. I might as well use them, right? I mean, let's just go fast. Let's just break this damn game from the beginning.
Who knows? Maybe there's a mechanic where you can just pay off the final boss with 10 million blood orbs,
That would be humorous. Wire snatch. Yeah, what the hell? Air high. Hey, double jump. Boom. Oh, wow. Some of these are real expensive. This isn't quite as game-breaking as I thought it was
Maybe
going to be.
100,000 orbs doesn't take you as far as you think.
Nope. Whoops. Rushing attack that sweeps up. Okay, that's actually really worth getting. An improved streak that greatly extends your range. Yes. Exceed. Max. Upgrade the Exceed system. Consume 2 stocks of the X gauge. Sure. Right after an attack, Exceed with perfect timing to max out your Exceed gauge. Sure. Well, 45,000. Actually, let's wait on that. Blue Rose. Sure. Roulette spin. Oh my. There's some cool... Like I said, this game has a lot of... Or this series tends to have a lot of maneuverability once you unlock most of the stuff.
Oh, and it's also got an option to try it and then learn it. Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of nice. I'm going to just go ahead and do the get more orbs right out of the gate so that orbs are not much of a problem.
Well, that seems like a good investment.
Yeah, right? And that leaves us with 7,000. So we've got a bunch of abilities. Let's go ahead and grab a few more like bare necessities for the sword. Yeah. The basic combo is a good thing to learn. And now we've got 2,000. What can I get for 2,000? Split or combo B? In mid-air, press left stick. Okay, so it's your basic, like, crash down attack. That sounds good. Okay, cool. Quick customization. Yes. Don't touch Willy. Good advice. But yeah, if you ever get a chance and you see it in a used game shop for like $10, you could do a hell of a lot worse than Prince of Persia: The Warrior Within.
Were any of the other Prince of Persia games any good, or
Oh yeah,
kind of became a franchise at some point?
Yeah,
didn't it?
so the PS2 trilogy is excellent. The PS3 game was not spectacular, and then actually, it's kind of funny that we're playing this because Prince of Persia had a very similar situation. So they made 3 very good games on the PS2. Then the PS3 came along and they decided they were going to reboot the series, and nobody liked the reboot. So then they went back and did another sequel starring, the prince from the other games, and it didn't really light the world on fire. And that was kind of the last we heard of Prince of Persia.
Yeah, I was gonna say it sounded like it kind of just died a slow, quiet death.
Yeah, and fortunately, like, the reboot wasn't bad, but like I said, no one really cared about it either. So its legacy isn't like tarnished or anything, but it's also not like the greatest thing in the world. Boy, I hope these civilians can't come back to life, because I am mowing them
won't
down.
now.
Yeah, no, certainly they're gone now. That's for damn sure. Pop those balloons. I'm sure that'll give me something. Okay, so we've got double jump, which is nice. And I also have the move which helps me close the gap. Yes. Excellent. That is good. That's practically a speed dash. Cool. Oh, and the other unique thing about Nero, Mr. Attitude here, is his sword is part motorcycle. So, don't ask how that works. But basically you can rev it up and charge his attacks. Which is what you see up there in the top left corner right now.
Oh, okay, I see. I thought it was like kind of like a combo meter. Oh, good, another cutscene. I was afraid we wouldn't get another one of these.
Yeah, we'd gone a bit too long. At least in the previous cutscenes, we had his girlfriend with all of her sexy tats.
So, I mean, basically it's an alien invasion, but from hell.
Yeah, actually, you're not wrong.
Okay.
Wait, there's a style rank in this? There we go!
Okay, that's a bit more efficient.
Yeah, we got this. Whoops. Okay, how is that supposed to work? That downward bending dog.
What?
The
Go back to
ground
sleep,
slash.
Rex. He's not talking about you, Rex. Go back to sleep.
No, he is. Someone wanted a dog.
I'm a dog, and I'm available.
Do you need me to kill some demons? Because I will.
Oh god, this dog. He just wants to live in peace.
Little does he know.
So, anything interesting happened during your Christmas?
Oh, yeah, no, it was actually a very quiet, relaxing time. Like, you know, usually, something like work-wise or unexpected will happen that will send me for a loop, but, this year, everything almost went a little too well, you know? I mean, the kids enjoyed their presents, church services were uneventful and efficient, and, yeah. I don't know, I guess I have nothing to complain about.
Well, there's still New Year's yet.
That's true, yes. Something could always go wrong. Sarah got me this, very unexpected Christmas gift that I'm really enjoying. It is the biography of Yoshitaka Amano, the guy who did all the artwork for the Final Fantasy series.
Huh, that is very interesting she would give that to you.
Yes. It's almost as if someone clued her in that I might really enjoy that.
I was gonna say, I feel like if you quizzed her, she would not know who the individual was.
Yeah, that's a good point now that you mention it. Well, I assume then that I have your input to thank for that one, so yeah, I'm
Nope.
very much enjoying it.
No, it sounds like a Max thing more than anything else.
Oh, that's true. You know, when I only have two friends, I'm never too far off base with when I'm thanking one of you for something. Speaking of which, with 2020 upon us, we really do have to set in stone your visit.
Well, once I stop getting unexpected multi-$1,000 bills.
Wait, what?
Oh, I had another thing go wrong with my house that I needed to get fixed.
You know,
and
yeah.
that's that's owning a house. What can one say?
It honestly is, especially if it makes you feel any better. The first, like, 6 or so months is when you'll notice, like, the stuff that the inspector ever so conveniently missed. That all tends to come up within the first 6 months to a year, and then it actually gets much more manageable.
Yeah, well, my house was in pretty good shape, and my home inspector was apparently called the Grim Reaper for a while.
Nice.
Because of how many real estate deals he killed because he was too thorough.
That's awesome.
So, the thing that went wrong was kind of expected anyways. It's just wishing it would have held out, you know, a little longer, so I didn't have to fix everything at once. But
what was it?
It was the hot water heater.
Okay.
I mean, at this point, I just had to change out the fuse box, and then every nit that was picked by the home inspector would have been fixed at that point.
Right.
But I was hoping to put more of that money towards principal payments on the house, but, well, here we are.
Right. Yeah, I can see that. You fucking stay dead.
Well, you're just shooting the hell out of him. He's not.
It was just such a great animation.
It was much the same here. Our Christmas was nice and quiet.
That's the best, you know? That's how I like my Christmases.
I was surprised. The dogs got more presents than I did, so, you know.
Well, maybe if you
I
gave us
guess-
a bigger allowance, we could afford to buy you something at the end of the year. But no. Rex
Everyone
invests
was
his
like-
money on Asian stockbrokers. That didn't make sense.
stockbrokers.
Asian prostitutes.
Cryptocurrencies.
Cryptocurrencies. God damn it, it's the future
I
of
told
money.
you Dogecoin was about to take off like a rocket, and all it did was blow up on the launch pad.
Also,
on the launch pad.
Also, no one seems to be willing to do real estate trading with a canine. I don't know why. It's racism is what it is. It's the boys club.
It's the patriarchy keeping you down, bud.
It's not the good boys club, it's just the boys club.
I'm a good boy. I'm a very good boy.
They didn't seem to like that, though. Also, I can't do the voice right now, because as I mentioned before this episode started, the one thing that always goes, like, to the point where I don't even consider it anymore, like clockwork, whenever the holidays roll around, Thanksgiving, Christmas, I will inevitably catch a cold.
I think it's partially psychosomatic because I get a sinus infection like clockwork after April 15th every year.
Ah, lovely. But yeah, I've of course caught something, and I'm on the tail end of it, so I'm good to go for gaming. But yeah, never fun. I've been hacking up lungs like nobody's business, which is a real attractive picture.
I had a throbbing headache today, but I only seem to get those when I watch The Witcher, so, you know.
Oh, crap. We're 40 minutes in and we haven't talked about The Witcher yet.
Well, I am still one episode away from watching the last of season 1.
Okay. It ends exactly like you're expecting it to end, and that's all
Well,
I'll say.
why would it change now?
So, overall, what are your thoughts?
Henry Cavill gives a solid performance. If we could have just had the adventures of Geralt doing Geralt things or just lifting stories straight from The Last Wish and the other prequel novels, it would have been great. But that's not what we got, I guess. What did you think?
I liked it. I wasn't blown away by it, but, why is this
It
dude
was
running
exactly
from me?
like I thought it would be. Go ahead.
So I like the action. I found myself surprisingly invested in Yennefer. Could have given two shits about Ciri. And like you said, Henry Cavill's performance was, I thought, the highlight of the whole thing.
Yeah, I almost don't want to speak ill of the series because I respect how much.
Yeah, it gave such a good Geralt.
He did. I mean, I was reading, what was it, like, Henry Cavill dehydrated himself for 3 days so that his muscles would be more pronounced for his Geralt shots.
Oh, shit. That makes sense. Oh, by the way, I've been pronouncing it Cavill. Is it Cavill or is it actually Cavill? Because I have no idea.
I don't know.
Cavill
Whatever
sounds better.
fancier. I've always assumed it was Cavill, but...
Yeah, makes more sense.
But yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I feel like they just tried to cram too much into it. Like they kind of just gloss over those really fun adventures from The Last Wish.
Sure.
So like essentially, what was a 2-hour story ends up having to be told in about 15 minutes because we need to get more shots of Ciri doing uninteresting stuff.
Yeah,
and then
boy,
Yennefer. Yeah.
Ciri really slowed otherwise like very good episodes to like a screeching halt.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you could just do like a recut the entire series so everything is in chronological freaking order.
Oh my goodness,
it might
and that
be a
was the
little
other
more
thing.
enjoyable. I didn't even know there was time skipping until you mentioned something. I thought it was just a fricked up mess.
And in all fairness, I think they intended it that way. Like you're supposed to think at first that this is all happening concurrently.
A flaming pile of chronological shit. Okay.
Yeah, no, I think they had an interesting idea and executed it very poorly.
No, I think what happened was... Oh, God, I'm going to sound like this, aren't I? I think what happened was they needed Geralt and 2 strong female leads to be on screen at the same time, is what it was.
Well, and they wanted to show Yennefer's origin concurrently with Ciri's and Geralt's, and the only way you can do that is time skipping. But rather than be so obscure about it, why didn't they just say, like... Nilfgaard 100 years ago or something like that,
Well, yeah, I mean, I know that they say just, like putting titles up like that is sloppy, but good God.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I agree.
Less sloppy than what they did.
I mean, which was nothing, exactly like Nilfgaard.
Yeah, you really just have to
1495.
guess and piece it together contextually. Like, Yennefer talks about, like, oh, I've been doing this for decades. It's like, aren't you still like fucking 20 years old though?
Well, she looks 18.
Right,
so.
exactly, yeah. Press and hold. Oh, that's kind of nice. So if you get a little bogged down in the then they give you a nice like direction system here.
I thought I thought they made way too much. I felt they made way too much of a deal of Yennefer's origin story. I don't feel that needed to play out over the course of 3 or 4 episodes.
Like I said, though, that's probably the only area where I disagree with you a little bit on, as I actually enjoyed Yen. Because it was kind of nice to see, like, I knew her backstory from the games and the books that I've read, but it was kind of interesting to see it in person, like, this character who is extremely, like, competent by the time, you know, you encounter her. Let's be realistic, for most of the people who are watching the series, in the freaking 3rd video game in the franchise. And at that point, you know, she's already like a seasoned pro and, you know, really, again, just competent and ready to go.
Well, that's why I liked the way the book handled it better, because you don't really hear her story until like the end of the 4th book. Like way after she's already established, and it kind of it works better because then you find out, oh, okay, she has that crack in the veneer of her confident attitude.
Right, there's a reason for
backwards. Yeah, which I felt that had a lot more impact the way the books had done it.
Okay, so there's one part of the final episode that really kind of solidified Yen for me. And I won't, well, it's not really even a spoiler, but I won't say anything about it for you so that it's not ruined. But there's just like, she gets one big moment in the last episode where it's like, okay, there is finally kind of the transformation into the Yen that...
Why is Yennefer as competent with actual handheld swords and weapons as she is with magic? Why is that a thing? I noticed with the Valinda Tenroth episode.
Because it's not a true progressive idea unless you have the female lead kicking as much ass as the male lead.
You know, Yennefer does that. She just does it differently.
Yeah, you know, I don't understand why, like, magic can't be her thing and swords Geralt's thing. And in fact, that's kind of what they make fun of Geralt a little bit in The Witcher 3, I noticed, because, like, he claims he can use magic, but to them, that magic is just, like, trinkets, a child, like, reading his way through, like, a kindergarten book, you know? It's...
Speaking of the Valinda Tenroth episode, or the Hunt for the Gold Dragon, I was surprised, because I had really begun to hate the series up till that episode.
Really?
That was the most competent episode, because they didn't feel the need to cut away from one of the stories every 5 minutes. Like,
oh, that was fantastic.
Whole episode was almost one long story, and I was like, wow.
That was easily
so
my
nice.
favorite episode. And for multiple reasons. You get the Gold Dragon himself. You get that fucking rube that Yennefer was working with at the start. that scene where the monster comes out of the bushes and he just whacks it away. That actually got me. I had to pause for like a good belly laugh for that one. For king and country.
Now, in the books, didn't he try to charge the dragon and just completely burned him to ash?
Oh, I don't know. I actually hadn't read that book yet.
Really? I thought you had read The Last Wish. Okay.
No, so I did the stupid thing. I didn't realize that the short stories came before the actual anthology, so I started with the anthology.
Okay.
So I'll probably finish. I'm on the Tower of Swallows now. I'll probably finish those and then go back and do the short stories.
You're getting there. Okay.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I finally started the Tower of Swallows.
You're getting there. I was disappointed that Yarpen Zegrin was just a loud, annoying asshole.
Oh, the one thing I'm really curious about, do you feel like they kind of wrote themselves into a corner a little bit with Dooney / Emir? Spoilers, I guess.
That is such a tough nut to crack. I don't even know how they're going to handle that.
Yeah, because, like, he's all, oh, Geralt, I owe you my life, and I would bend over backwards to take it between the cheeks for you. And, you know, it's just like, you know, as I recall, the Law of Surprise, I don't think Dooney was particularly happy about that in the books, right? He
I
basically
can't-
didn't have
I-
any other way to pay a blood debt that he
I
owed Geralt.
literally can't say anything about that without spoiling the books.
Right, yeah.
Dooney is a significant part of book 5.
Okay, well, yeah, I mean, I know the arc there. He is the Emperor.
Okay, I got you.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, I knew that just from The Witcher 3. I read, like, all of his bio and backstory and all that.
Okay, I got you.
And so I know what that is, but my question to you is, they almost make him too amiable.
No, I think that might have even have been a part of his plan from the beginning, was to, create a child of surprise from a child of surprise. Because there's even a line that they say, such an event would create such a twist in the knot of destiny that who knows how powerful that child could be.
Oh, interesting.
So,
Okay, so that whole nice guy act was just that, a nice guy act.
he was essentially getting something out of it.
Okay.
Because that's how Amir works, is, by manipulation.
Really? Okay. I mean, yes, I do know that, but my worry was that the show producers didn't know that.
I don't think he necessarily may have thought that far ahead, but he might have been very pleased to see that would wedge into his plans very well.
So
but you're right. That is going to be a flustercluck to try to explain with the show.
Well, yeah, it's like this dude whose entire personality we established a certain way is completely the opposite. Because again, he's like
expectations.
Right. So he's like Geralt's best friend. He loves Ciri's mother so much. And no, not really. Like, he wasn't all that bummed when she died because she'd already given him what he wanted.
Right.
But that does not come across at all in his character in the show. So again, having not read that book, boy, why is Nero running like that?
Does he appear in the 8th episode or something?
No, he only appears
Okay.
in his Hedgehog redemption arc.
Okay, that's what I thought. All right. I did not know if he makes an appearance yet. I don't know who they tapped to play the Emperor. I keep wanting to say Charles Dance, but
I'm not sure. I didn't recognize the actor, other than that he did not at all seem like Emir to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. But yeah, I feel like I don't want to say the word vindicated, but because that feels smug, but pretty much it seems like exactly what I was afraid of happens. We got a really solid, an excellent Geralt. A competent Yennefer. I'm sure Ciri will amount to something, and then everyone else is just like an afterthought.
I don't think my beef with Ciri is the actress playing her. I felt that she did a fine job with what she had to work with.
With what she had to work with,
right? But they didn't give her much to work with. I mean, for as integral as Ciri is to the story, and as much as I actually like her overall character, I was just kind of disappointed in the way that they handled her, which was really to just make her this,
she's just getting in the way of
right.
more interesting stories.
Right, and she's always, like, inevitably in the middle of some just, like, horrible, like, war crime that she has no control over. Like, I think my favorite part with her was when she saw that, like, sweet old racist lady get stabbed to death.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just like, and I wasn't laughing because, the show was trying to be comedic.
It was an odd moment because I had to rewind it. I was like, wait, did I see that correct?
Yeah.
Also, did we just confirm dwarves are a thing in this universe?
Right. And like, how much bad shit can happen to a single person? Like, wherever there is something atrocious happening, Ciri is always right fucking there.
Right in the middle of it, yep.
Right. I don't know. Like, that scene just... That was a little much, even for me, whose suspension of disbelief in series like this is notoriously thin-skinned. Like I'm. It doesn't take a whole lot to get me absorbed into your universe, but when something shatters the illusion, I don't forget it.
So, how do you feel about this this show's version of? I guess we're going with Jaskier.
Oh, Dandelion, yeah. He's still Dandelion to me, just because I was introduced to him in the English.
Sapkowski had his mitts all over that because he resents that Jaskier's name was changed to Dandelion for some reason.
Sure, and actually, I know you hate him. So forgive me for this.
He's actually a bit better. Once I kind of figure out where the hell we were in the timeline.
Oh, okay, cool. In that case,
he's
yeah.
acceptable.
Okay, yeah, that's my thought. I actually think that the guy who's portraying him does a good, like, take on his personality, which really is just kind of this bumbling playboy with kind of a heart of gold towards Geralt.
Well,
he seems a little bit too endearing right off the bat, especially considering that he's really just befriending Geralt to, you know, make himself known. It's kind of like they don't really connect all the pieces to establish their deep and trusting friendship. It just kind of is there the next time you see him.
Isn't that kind of how it worked in these books, though?
He was just like Geralt's default friend?
I can't remember if there was an origin for their friendship or not. Don't think so. I think they were like the one relationship was like, yeah, this is.
It was already established in the books, certainly,
Yeah.
but that doesn't like they're showing like Geralt and Jaskier's first meeting in the episode. So if you're gonna do that, then you might as well at least have something that creates the ground for their friendship.
See what I'm getting at there, though, is that all those stories in those first 7 episodes are just yanked directly from The Last Wish.
Right? Yeah. So why wasn't there a moment, I guess, that they actually? Well, I guess I guess my beef then is more with Sapkowski than it is with the show. So my thought was, why not have a moment that shows Jaskier doing something particularly useful for Geralt, or endearing himself in some way, other than like by the next time they meet, it's like, oh yeah, you can tag along, we're buds, I guess.
I'm always kind of a fan of like, okay, maybe these characters just knew each other and that we don't have to, you know, go too far into depth with explaining their relationship. Like, okay, these two are friends because they're like C-3PO and R2-D2.
Sure.
They're, you know, they're the serious guy and the non-serious guy comedy duo.
And that's fine, but like their first meeting, like there wasn't anything there really that I could even see Geralt wanting to interact with this person again.
See, now that's you're right, and that gets even more confusing because like you're right, all like famous. Now, if I remember correctly from the books, it's when he takes care of the Striga problem for the King Foltest.
Yeah.
That's what like really gets his name out there. And then like in this series it was like, oh yeah, and then they gave the credit for your kill to someone else.
Oh yeah.
And then Geralt's famous anyways. It's like,
well, and that being said, though, I actually like the portrayal of Jaskier / Dandelion, and as cheesy as it was, I actually really liked his song, and I've been kind of like finding myself humming it. Toss a coin to your witcher, you know, like I enjoyed that.
I guess the problem for me is that Dandelion was done so well in the games, and he was done so well in the audiobooks that it's just hard for me to be like, he's great too.
Yeah, you know, it's the bronze medal performance of, you know, some really good performances.
Yeah, it's an embarrassment of riches. But yeah, here we are, me saying Henry Cavill is excellent when the audiobook version of Geralt was excellent, as was the game version of Geralt. So you know,
how blessed are we though that out of all of the renditions of Geralt that we've had, not one of them has been exceptionally weak. I mean,
that's true. They've all been excellent.
Yeah,
even Scottish Geralt from the audiobooks.
Yeah, you know, this is a series where like the creator's passion for it runs so deep that all of them want to do it justice. No one's just cashing in.
Well, I mean, even though Henry Cavill is basically being Geralt from the video games, I mean, but he's doing it so well that I don't mind. There's nothing innovative there. It's just he's imitating to perfection.
Yeah, no, you are not wrong. He is absolutely video game Geralt.
So here's I guess like my last and my biggest gripe. I have never seen a show make mages so uninteresting. I just wish that they could like have some sort of thing where like, I don't know, like where the mages are recognizable just by looking at them based on like their costume.
Yeah,
because I can't tell who's like just some middle management guy
Right.
and who like has magical powers. Because like I thought Mousak from the first episode was like
Just like a court jester or something.
yeah, like just like some guy in the court, and he's like, no, I'm gonna use my magic powers to hold the door. It's like, okay, so he's a mage.
Right. Yeah,
Right.
no, I can see that. The mage's big moment comes at the last episode. You get some of that council and politics and
God, that is like the worst. I am real sad that like Vilgefortz just looks so uninteresting. In
oh
this
my gosh,
rendition.
Vilgefortz I had some beef with. Yeah. He
I
is
feel
not
like they're
exciting.
setting. I feel like they were setting Stragoba up to be Vilgefortz in this series, and then the actual Vilgefortz in the series is, I don't know what the hell he's supposed to be.
He gets a cool scene in episode 8, but it's not enough to redeem him.
Well, anyone can have a cool scene written, but it's,
Sure.
I don't know.
Well,
it just like he rubbed me the wrong way
And
immediately.
if they're following the books in this series, Vilgefortz really is the principal antagonist of the first book. And so
The second book.
second book, sorry, you're right. And so
The first book was just Triss having diarrhea
Yeah.
and being on the wagon.
that's going to be a fun couple of episodes to film, isn't it? Poor Triss. But yeah, Vilgefortz, he's the principal antagonist of the second book, and he is just the most milquetoast, boring character in the show. I was expecting them to have a really intriguing, like, way of introducing him, or at least have, like, an actor that's almost as magnetizing as Geralt, to kind of set the dichotomy up between them, but nope.
No, he just once Yennefer is done talking to the uninteresting mage who I have no idea who he is, he just like it's speed dating, jumps right in there.
Yeah, that was kind of funny, actually.
Like we know who he is or what he's doing or
Yeah.
establishing why I care.
I'm trying to think of anything else about the show since the episode's about to wrap up here. I'm guessing we're gonna beat this guy and then we'll call it an ep. But
Yeah, this seems like a decent stopping point.
yeah. Oh my, look at this. Well, you're just Chaos from Final Fantasy 1, aren't you?
Oh, he absolutely is, isn't he?
He's got that belly monster. Whiff,
Wow, that was he was right in front of him.
right? Goliath. You know, they took some liberties with the biblical Goliath. I don't remember any of this from...
I feel
From
like it'd been
Second Kings.
safer they just went with Nimrod. That'd be a bit more to scale.
I will. Sorry, I'm about to
Insolent human! I'm mad! Hulk smash!
But yeah, I mean, I guess that's The Witcher in a nutshell. You know, you can't fault Henry Cavill in any capacity whatsoever because
No,
his performance is flawless. But maybe once we get through the flustercluck of time jumping, and get to the temporal jumping in the second season, then maybe things will start to even.
Oh, that was supposed to happen. Yes, no, I agree fully. And, you know, the fact that Henry Cavill is entertaining to watch as he is really the highest praise I can give the series so far, because that was I was all set for that to be my major gripe, honestly, was the way that they did Geralt. I was really worried that Henry Cavill was just like too traditionally handsome and charming to play a convincing Geralt, but go figure, this guy that I wrote off as like a bogus Superman.
Well, yeah. How do you recover from
archetype.
Batman v Superman? I mean,
Yeah, but he's got some range as an actor. Go figure. You kind of write these guys into a corner as just like your token handsome white guy lead, and then he goes and surprises you. It's like Leonardo DiCaprio.
Hopefully, this is the role that Cavill ends up.
Oh,
being
shit.
known for. Oh, now you have to fight him from the inside. No, I guess.
No, that wasn't
All right.
supposed to happen, I don't think.
So it seems like the show was pretty universally panned by critics, but loved by fans.
I've seen a couple critics enjoy it.
It's weird because I saw that. I was like, this is gonna be another one of those weird dichotomy things, right? Where critics are like, one side likes it and the other doesn't. But
says a mere demon. How about Aren't we ready?
Sorry, I'm actually having to pay attention because I'm about to die.
You have like no health.
Nope.
I really feel like this is the kind of game that would have like a. You know what I loved about Lords of Shadow was that you
Yeah,
could
I think I
recover
see some.
health, you know, by using magic.
Yes, I think I see some health over here, actually.
Oh, that's what those things are.
Yes, okay, cool. We're back in the game. Oof! Where are we?
But that gun doesn't really do much at all, does it?
It more stalls them and helps you kind of chip away at them.
Oh, it's like Bloodborne then, okay.
It does have its uses. And it also keeps your combo chain going, which is the most important
that's probably
thing.
the most important part.
Yeah.
Okay.
And even though I just fucking blew it. Here we go. We got him. Actually, not bad for the first like real boss fight. I only needed 1 health pickup.
Yeah, I didn't even die that time either.
No, you know I've got it. It's the temptation in Devil May Cry is it's pretty fast paced, so you kind of want to button mash. But like all good action games, if you do that, you're screwed. So it's really just about kind of managing them and maintaining your combo chain, which I didn't do the best job there, but I did for the beginning of it.
I knew it was Chris Angel.
Thank you, Chris Angel. You're about to get mind freaked. Actually, wait a minute. He's just Genesis from that really bad Final Fantasy VII game.
You know, I can honestly say I never played that.
Well, actually, I say really bad, but really bad just for the token of it added to a story that didn't need any adding to.
Well, I mean, that's the story of everything for Final Fantasy VII, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we only really needed the one story told the one time.
What the fucker just stole my kill?
Didn't that also happen in Prince of Persia, too?
Fuck you, Chris Angel. In Prince of Persia 2, what happened?
Never mind.
Sorry.
Miscellaneous reference. Look at his smug little smile.
Pardon my delay. I was catching up on some.
You very much had it under control.
Hey, Nick. When I'm feeling particularly cool, sometimes I like to talk like this. Just so that you know how cool I am. Is it working?
No.
Are you sure? Because
Maybe
I
he can
feel
do a magic trick and make himself disappear for
really
a while.
cool.
Wouldn't
Yeah,
that be great?
Chris Angel's not doing it for me so far. Maybe he plays in a really interesting way. I guess we'll see here. Next
Well,
time
I
on
mean,
Play
you-
the Hits.
Yeah, right? So,
As soon as this cutscene ends, come on, guys.
But it sucks. Well, let's just say they don't turn out.
well, I mean, it's not like Hideo Kojima level bad as far as...
No,
like,
it's not. They don't. It's a lot of drivel, but at least it has the mercy to end relatively expediently.
Wait. First, we.
Ah, yes, Hideo Kojima, the Quentin Tarantino of doing game movies.
So, Nick, when is Play the Hits gonna play Death Stranding?
As soon as I can get it for $10 on Steam. Might take a while.
What the hell are
Might take a while.
You know, I
I'm
was just
sorry,
thinking that same thing. What the hell is that?
I know I'm late. Shut it. The roads were all clogged.
This is gonna drive me nuts. Is that actually Kyrie?
Hey, you're gonna get that?
I know it doesn't bother you, but like, she's not just like a little bit different from the last game.
Make something amazing out of this.
What's bothering me is she actually looks like
Did you just sniff that?
some actress I know that might have been mocapped for that
Up your butt.
part.
Uh-huh.
So that's what's confusing me.
Focus on the mission.
This isn't Kyrie. So his girlfriend Kyrie, like he called out to her there, but I was thinking like that can't be who that was, and I don't think it is. I think it's like a friend of theirs. Hey, I got an A.
Yeah, it's not bad, you know.
But by the
Now,
end of the
wait.
game, I should be getting regular D's.
It'll be just like school all over again.
Yeah, right. Oh man, Nick. Next time on Play the Hits, we pick this sucker up, and yeah, I hope it's an enjoyable romp for you so far.
It has been delightful. So, I just realized that that's like a timetable left-hand side of like 6 a.m., 5 a.m.
Yeah, yeah, you're not wrong.
This is feeling very much the day after tomorrow-ish
Good idea.
Yeah.
with the timestamps and the like.
Behold, my genius.
Oh, that is
Oh,
the
hey,
rocket,
the rocket
punch.
punch.
First.
All the materials.
Cash. Oh, okay. I thought you said cash fist. Just like, wait, what?
Really badass
You know, are we saving? This is one of those things. Like we're saving the world here. Can't I just like pay you in goodwill and like not dying?
I have only ever seen one game do that.
I remember at the end of Lunar Silver Star story, before the final dungeon, one of the item shop owners is just like, fucking take what you want. That was pretty cool.
Oh, thanks. All the potions I can carry.
It is kind of nice to not have to worry about managing your health throughout the final dungeon.
Can never find the guy who's
By
selling
Neil
crystals.
Goldstein from Goldstein Industries, I guess.
Well, that's the most Jewish thing I've heard all day.
You want a Magnum? Shop Neil Goldstein. He won't let you down when you're fighting demons. Oh, God.
Any more questions? Huh? Little cheeky.
I'm gonna have to look this up between episodes because that's not
With
curious.
as much as this van jostles around in every cutscene, how is all of this stuff not all of it? I mean, there's a freaking coffee pot right there on the stove. I've seen this van turn upside down numerous times.
Also, that demon head dartboard there, that's not gonna work. How do you know if you got a bullseye?
Cobwebs out.
I mean, if it goes in the eye, it's a bullseye.
Any more questions? Better ask
Shut
them.
up, Nick.
I can't read.
If this van's a rockin', it probably means that we owe Knuckles some money.
If this van's a rockin', we're probably in another cutscene.
Yeah, right. Oh, hey, I see a drill arm. That's kind of on the way to the chainsaw there.
Yeah, there we got a little calendar there. So, okay, all
Yeah.
right. Well, this has been my first introduction to Devil May Cry. Not bad.
Cool. All right, buddy. We'll see you next time.